Someone is currently at odds with themselves because they are unable to acknowledge their feelings for you. Some people don't fall in love just to get attention. After falling in love, they put all of their effort into attempting to keep it a secret. Someone in your life right now stops every time they hear your name. Perhaps they never respond to your tales. Perhaps they never initiate discussions. However, you have no idea how much their thoughts are focused on you. This individual has been keeping their sentiments to themselves for a long time because they are afraid that one mistake could drive you away permanently. The odd thing is that they had no intention of this happening. Quietly, it began. A brief moment of focus. A few discussions. Your smile lingered in their minds longer than they had anticipated. You gradually started to appear in their daily thoughts. They are now forced to choose between speaking or being silent every night before they go to bed. You don't realize how much you've impacted them, which is what hurts them the most. They act normal while observing you from a distance. However, their heartbeat shifts each time you log in. They start overanalyzing every time you take too long to respond. They may appear serene or even aloof from the outside. However, there is total turmoil behind that quiet. First thing first. People frequently keep their deepest emotions to themselves. That person has made numerous attempts to move on. They've convinced themselves that it's most likely only transitory. However, they consistently return to the same emotional state. Because they developed an unbreakable habit with you. One song, one sentence, or even just hearing a name that sounds similar to yours might bring everything back, even if they are trying to divert their attention. The daily struggle that takes place in their minds is something you cannot see. A part of them is relieved to be able to speak the truth at last. There's also the fear that everything might alter later. They don't fear your response. They fear they won't be able to contact you at all. At the moment, they find value in even seemingly insignificant actions like reading your articles or sending brief replies. They conceal their feelings and act as though nothing is happening rather than taking a chance. However, people typically reveal themselves by minute details. If you look closely, you'll see that some eyes focus on you for a bit longer. Some people are more likely than others to recall your mood. Second, rather than using dramatic language, someone with genuine emotions expresses them more through calm attentiveness. On some evenings, this person will access your chat, create a message, look at it, and then erase everything. Not once, not twice, repeatedly. Because it seems like every sentence is either too late or too sentimental. They've already conjured up hundreds of different responses and conversations with you in their minds. However, many still lack the guts to speak up in real life. Perhaps because you are no longer just another individual to them. The possibility of losing someone you love becomes more terrifying than keeping the secret. They occasionally even make an effort to put some distance between them and you in order to let the emotions subside. However, the opposite occurs. Everything is only strengthened by your absence. They think about you more when they have less access to you. It's odd how suppressed feelings frequently intensify in quiet, particularly when the other person is unaware of what's going on. This individual may laugh with companions, go about their daily business, and behave normally, yet one question remains stuck in their mind. Would things improve or fall apart if they understood how I felt? Perhaps you've already observed a few minor odd behaviors, but you've never given them much thought. Someone checking on you at random. Someone checking in with you in the middle of the day with a brief note. It is impossible for someone who genuinely cares to become completely apathetic. Their emotions come through in subtle ways, even when they make an effort to behave normally. For a long time, this person has persuaded themselves that they shouldn't make any confessions. Perhaps they believe that the timing is off. Perhaps they believe you don't share their sentiments. Or perhaps the last time they let someone inside their heart, they were hurt. They now conceal everything with quiet. But calm isn't usually found in stillness. Silence can occasionally indicate that a person is so overcome with emotion that they are unable to articulate the truth. They develop a stronger emotional bond with you while you carry on with your regular life without understanding any of this. Because you've long since ceased to be simply another individual in their eyes. You become a part of their dreams, fantasies, and even the future they secretly envision. Confession is not always the first step in a love story. They start with stamina. Enduring the quiet. Enduring the separation. Enduring the potential that you might never recognize your significance to someone. That person has made numerous attempts to preserve their emotional well-being. However, each time, they are drawn back to you. Because genuine emotions don't go away just because logic dictates they should. Perhaps as you read this, you're starting to recognize a particular name. Perhaps someone has silently been with you over this entire period. Someone who always cared for you in a different way yet never pushed themselves into your life or demanded attention. Thirdly, a person who genuinely loves you typically fears losing you more than failing to win your approval. Perhaps the most peculiar aspect is that, even as you read these lines, someone is thinking about you and debating whether or not to tell you the truth. Imagine now that one evening this person decides to finally speak up. Avoid making a theatrical speech. Not with a long paragraph. For far too long, they have harbored a single, straightforward statement in their hearts. That could be the point at which everything shifts. Because some people keep their emotions hidden for years in order to preserve their current relationship. In actuality, though, people aren't always saved by suppressing their feelings. Occasionally, it gradually wears them out instead. It's likely the individual has made numerous attempts to let go. But for some reason, they are always drawn back to you. Due to the illogical nature of some linkages. They simply exist. If you look closely enough, you may see who is more aware of your emotions than anyone else. Who, without ever giving an explanation, silently remains in your life. Love isn't always communicated verbally. Some people show it by being consistent, paying attention, and remaining silent for longer than necessary. Perhaps someone is reading this right now and secretly hoping you'll discover they've been talking about you all along. Do you believe that someone in your life is harboring romantic sentiments for you?